To accept this call, press 0. To refuse this call, hang up. This call is from a DRC correctional facility and is subject to monitoring and recording. Utilization of an unapproved application and three-way calls to communicate are strictly prohibited and a violation of DRC policy. Thank you for using GTL.
Thank you for using GTL.
Tony's prison cell, how can I help you today?
Do you ever take anything serious?
Sure. Would you like a double cheeseburger with bacon?
Oh my God. You know what? It's interesting. So I finished watching the entire season of that show Prison Brides. You know, the one that the young girl, the Lithuanian girl that lives in Germany, the one I'm helping. Okay? That's the show.
Right.
And so like the pattern, which I understand, but the pattern of all the parents and the friends of these women are that being with an inmate is like dangerous. And I started thinking about it, and it's really safer than going out with somebody who's on a dating app out here in the free world, because y'all are like confined and there's cops around everywhere, so you can't do nothing to anybody. Makes sense,
right?
Right?
That's why Ted Bundy had his way back in the day.
Okay, well, let's not go the serial killer route. But I started thinking about it. I'm like, you know, especially if these guys got like a long time to go, and they're not going to get out for a while, it's, to me, safer. And like, on the dating apps, the guys can put whatever information they want. If they want to say they're this or they're that, you know, you have to do like a deep Google dive and a background check to see if they're telling the truth. But they can make up their own profile. Where like you guys, you know, online.
Well, you see, let me interrupt you just for 1 second.
It won't be.
That's right.
Second.
So if one of us are lying, any one of these women or men can investigate us to find out if we're full of shit, if we're lying. But on the other hand, you people out there can make up a whole line of bullshit, catfish us, and we don't have the resources to do everything that you guys do.
No.
So we just have to roll with it.
You guys got resources. Let me tell you something. But the thing is this. So I went online to like an inmate's version of like Tinder. Okay? Which is, in your case, the Department of Corrections. And I decided to take a walk down memory lane. So I pulled up when you were in Florida, because that's where your reign of your reign of terror actually started in Ohio, but Florida was where you and I met. Okay? And
right.
There are some things on here that I was not aware of, or maybe I just need some clarification on. But it is like reading a Tinder profile, because it just talks about like where you were and what you did on a certain date. So, I
bet you don't have my original profile from back then, do you?
No, I'm talking about the Department of Corrections website, not friggin' Prison Angels where I met you. I'm talking about Department of Corrections.
Oh, well.
The one you can't lie on, okay?
All right.
So, like, right here,
right.
It says in 1988, you got busted for robbery with no gun, forgery, uttering. What's uttering? Sounds like something you do with a cow. And grand theft. And you only did a year. So what was that about?
That was about somebody who owed me some money. Mm-hmm. Again, they refused to pay me because I was just a kid.
Okay.
I was just a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to pull a pistol on him, take what I could get from him. He gave me some checks, and when we went and cashed him in, he said that we robbed him with a gun. They couldn't find the gun, and we forged his checks, and we went and tried to cash him.
Okay. It says robbery with no gun.
Well, unfortunately, they didn't find the gun. It was already tossed in the intercoastal.
No, fortunately for you, unfortunately for them. Okay?
Right. It was a good thing for me.
Right.
Bad thing for them.
All right, then you got out. Let's see. Oh, no. You got out and you probably went right back in.
I never got out. Because I had charges pending, and I went right back to the county jail.
Well, okay. So then these next charges were cocaine for sale and cocaine for sale, conspiracy to commit. That's way too many C's. Something to do with cocaine. Selling drugs?
Right. Selling drugs.
Okay. Then maybe, I don't know, around the same time, 92, grand theft of a motor vehicle. Did you steal a car?
Again, this was related to the murder case.
Oh.
And the victim was dead. He was never going to drive his brand new Corvette ever again. So I figured it would be great and more appreciated in my hands.
That's okay. This is interesting because the murder case isn't on here. Interesting.
Well, they were still gathering evidence. On that.
And that got dropped to manslaughter, right?
It got dropped to manslaughter. It was a first-degree premeditated murder case.
Right.
Death penalty case, actually.
Right.
And the dream team of lawyers, the wonderful lawyers I had out of Broward County, K.O. Morgan, the late K.O. Morgan, Dave Logan Schutz,
We don't need a whole...
and Kevin Kluick.
Mm-hmm.
Got it broke down to manslaughter.
Okay. And then in 94, escape.
Right. I escaped from prison.
Okay, well, explain.
I was at a lower secure...
Explain.
Okay. Well, I was at a lower security institution, and my job was to sweep the area up front where the major and the gate is, clean up all the cigarette butts that all the staff, all the white shirts came out, smoked and threw on the concrete and stomped out, or the chew that they spit out.
Okay.
Or
I don't need all the details. I need all the details. Short version.
So my job was to go up there every morning, sweep it all up, clean out the ashtray, clean up everything.
You said that already.
And the major, they trusted me so much that they would pop the gate to the prison and have me sweep the incoming areas. I'd walk and to crash into the prison. And I called my buddy and said, "Hey, why don't you meet me in the parking lot, Ace? Put a red bandana on your antenna, go in the parking lot and just sit there. And I'm going to walk right out and get in your vehicle, and we're going to drive off." And that was exactly how that went down.
Now, what were you doing time in there for? Was it worth escaping?
At the moment, I just didn't want to be in prison. And I'm like, you know what, man? It's time to blow this chicken stand. I'm out of here. It wasn't like I was planning on running for all my life, going to South America, France, Canada, changing my name. I went right back to Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
And hung right out with my old friends right up on the beach.
That's so great to hear. Well, now that we've got your whole prison Tinder profile out there in the open, maybe we should then skip over to Ohio.
Okay. Let's talk about Ohio.
No.
Go Buckeyes.
Okay, we are done. I can only handle one profile at a time. Peace out. God, he likes to talk a lot. Okay, on the next episode of 25 to Wife, we're going to get into Ohio and see what kind of trouble he got into himself there. This guy.